Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. Happy St. Patrick's Day from Mobile Media. Welcome back to another episode. It's been a pretty crazy sports evolution, if you will, for the month of March, especially for the month of March. Today we'll be recapping everything going on with that PGA Championship over the weekend, as well as an update for you on the Champions League and the Concacafa Champions Cup. Naturally, going over the TGL, those playoffs are going on, and we'll get a nice little adjustment to see how those are going to be playing out, as well as a introduction to how the championship is going to be laid out a little bit. Same thing with the Unrivaled League. Yeah, that's what we got and a little bit more, so hope you enjoy. Alright, starting us off today, we have the PGA. We had the Players' Championship over the weekend. The winner of that was Rory McIlroy. Congratulations to Rory. He finished with a score of 12 under. So did JJ Spawn. The two gentlemen did go into a 3-hole playoff. Rory won. So, congratulations to both of them, playing well enough to even contend to a playoff, especially even at the championship. They had a bit of a weather delay, so the playoff holes took a little bit longer than expected, but it finished. The other names in the leaderboard, tied for third, we have Tom Hogan with 10 under, Akshay Bhatia, Lucas Glover, all three of those gentlemen with the score of 10 under. Tied for sixth, we had Danny Walker, the Canadian Corey Connors, Bud Cauley. Those guys had a score of 9 under. And then we had in ninth, Robbie McIntyre. Just want to shout him out. It was pretty crazy down there in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. Naturally, it's a tough course. TPC Sawgrass is very, very difficult for any good weather day, even then. So you throw in a couple of the Mother Nature conditions and you're in for a pretty difficult day on the golf course. It fared well. I also wanted to shout out my boy. He finished pretty low, second to last as far as the gentleman that made the cut. Ricky finished with the score of 12 over. Shout out Ricky. Come on back strong. That's pretty much all I had to say for that. There was some controversy going on with Rory and some heckler this week, which I didn't really know or look into, but that happened. And yeah, the next tournament we have this week is going to be the Valspar Championship at Palm Harbor, Florida. So, I haven't even seen a list of the golfers that are going to be there, but naturally for this early week, that's why we have the TGL. The Golf League. Juicy playoff time. Today we have a match between LA and New York. They're already going at it, and it looks like New York is winning currently. Tomorrow we have a match between Atlanta and the Bay, and then whoever wins that will be playing the winner of this match today in the finals. They have a match on March 24th, and then their second match will be March 25th, and then if necessary, they will be having a third match on March 25th as well, right after that second match, same day. So, the clubs are coming down to it. We'll see who ends up holding this SoFi Cup at the end of it. Yeah, New York is winning 6-3, holding it steady through 13 holes. They're on the 14th hole, and they might take it home. So even though Ricky posted 12 over, I don't know if he's even playing today either, but he's on New York. What about the story for New York? They were in last place, and they came back. Anything's possible. Crazy. And if they beat LA, they're going to the ship. Good stuff. Good stuff. That is your early week golf brought to us by the TGL. So if you don't watch today's match, try to catch tomorrow's. But if not, then we'll let you know how those went. And then we'll be introducing more of who's playing in the championship next week. Moving on to the Unrivaled League. The ladies did have their semifinals, and those looked something like the Laces played Club Rose, and Club Rose won 63-57. Chelsea Gray had 39 points for Club Rose, and Alyssa Thomas had 20 points for Laces. These actually were yesterday. Sorry for not mentioning that. Club Vinyl played the Lunar Owls. Vinyl won 73-70. Ryan Howard had 23 points, and Jordan Canada had 21. And then Nafisa Collier had 36 points for the Lunar Owls. Definitely a lot more consistent scoring around the team for the finals. That's really how they got that strong finish at the end. But yeah, Nafisa with 36 and Chelsea with 39. These ladies are balling out. We did have the championship game today. It was Club Vinyl versus Club Rose. Naturally, those were the two teams that won in the semifinals. And the winner of the first season of the Unrivaled League is Club Rose. They beat Vinyl 62-54. For Vinyl, Ryan Howard had 22. For the Rose, Brittany Sykes had 21. Azaria Stevens had 19. And Chelsea Gray had 18. Crazy. That's it. That's all the season. We have the W starting up here in a couple weeks. It should be around, I forgot to look, but it should be either the end of this month or next month. For sure. No, actually, it might be as late as May. I will definitely confirm that next episode. But that is our professional women's basketball brought to us by the Unrivaled League. Great season for a first time. It's going to be really cool to look back on this first season, especially for these first year leagues like this one and the TGL. It's really cool and fascinating to see growth of a sport, not specifically at the professional level, but still played at a professional level by professional players. So it's cool to see it like in a technical way. If you don't make the league, you're gonna still make this league, but that's kind of not true because these people are dogs and they are like actually professionals. This is just something they do in their off time, but they're still doing their due diligence of showing us how well they are at their crafts. So definitely cool to see this league wrap up. We'll see in the future if we have any new men's leagues. That would be crazy. But yeah, that's all we have for the Unrivaled. Moving on to some soccer, aka football. For the Champions League, giving you some updates. Barcelona advanced 4-1 on Benfica. Bayern Munich advanced 5-0 on Leverkusen. Inter advanced 4-1 on Feyenoord. PSG advanced 4-1 on Liverpool. Those games were on Tuesday. Last week, Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, Dortmund advanced 3-2 on Lille. Arsenal advanced 9-3 on PSV. Aston Villa advanced 6-1 on Club Brugge. And Real Madrid advanced 4-2 on Atletico Madrid. The next games we have for I believe it's the quarters. Certainly it's something along those lines because we just had the round of 18. Or just 18. So this would be quarters, semis. We're getting down there. So the next game will be April 8th. And that is Arsenal and Real Madrid and Bayern Munich and Inter. So those ones should be some good ones. But naturally, we'll look into those the closer those games get to us. Just wanted to recap how those things were looking for for the Champions League. Moving on to the Concacafa Champions Cup. For those recaps and who's going to be moving forward, LAFC is advancing onward 4-2 on Columbus Crew. Cruz Azul is advancing 4-1 on Seattle Sounders FC. Tigres is advancing 4-2 on FC Cincinnati. Similar to the Champions League, these games were played last week. The first one's on Tuesday. These ones were played on Wednesday. LAFC is advancing on Herediano 4-2. The Vancouver Whitecaps are advancing on away goals. They tied aggregate with Monterrey. And America is advancing 4-1 on Guadalajara. Thursday, we had Inter Miami advance 4-0 on Cavaliers SC. And we also had Pumas advance 3-1 on Alajuelense. Killed it. Similar to the Champions League, we don't have games here for a minute. Exact days we're going to be starting us off on April 8th. We have Tigres playing LAFC. Oh no, that's the second aggregate, so that means it would be April 1st. Yes, sir. LAFC versus Tigres, America versus Cruz Azul, April 1st. So they're going to actually be playing a lot more soccer. Just a little sooner, but not too much sooner. Just a week. So just like the Champions League, we'll be covering a lot more of these the closer we get to those games, but that's your update on the scores and who to be looking out for going on in these tournaments. Speaking of tournaments, it's time for the tournament. It's March Madness time, baby. For the men's, we're just going to go over the first four, and then I'm going to sprinkle in some of the teams that I like, and then I'll be posting another video this week diving into the brackets for the men's and the women's before the initial full head of steam that they have rolling with. I do believe it's Wednesday for the girls and Thursday for the boys. But, yeah, we're going to cover the first four. For the southern region, we have San Diego State playing UNC. For the, they're both 11th ranked, and then they will be playing Ole Miss, whoever wins that. In the 16th seed, we have Alabama State playing St. Francis, PA. I do believe it's Pennsylvania. Whoever wins that is playing Auburn. And those games are going to be tomorrow. The UNC San Diego State is at 6:10, and the Alabama State St. Francis is at 3:40. On Wednesday, we have American University playing Mount St. Mary's. The winner of that will be playing Duke. Damn. And then we have Texas playing Xavier, ranked 11th seed, who will be playing, whoever wins that will be playing Illinois. There's some mad matchups. Yeah, we're just going to go through most of it. Louisville, Creighton, Michigan, UC San Diego, Texas A&M versus Yale. We just said whoever wins the San Diego State UNC plays Ole Miss. Iowa State, Lipscomb, Marquette playing New Mexico, Michigan State playing Bryant, Florida's playing Norfolk, UConn's playing Oklahoma, Memphis is playing Colorado State, Maryland's playing Grand Canyon, Missouri's playing Drake, Texas Tech, UNC Wilmington, Kansas, Arkansas, St. John's, Omaha, and then on the other side, we have Duke playing like we said, Wisconsin, is playing Montana. St. Mary's is playing Vanderbilt. Alabama's playing Robert Morris. Houston's playing SIUE. Gonzaga's playing Georgia. Clemson's playing McNeese. Yeah, McNeese. Purdue's playing High Point. Congratulations to the High Point team. And then, like we said, the winner of the Texas Xavier game will be playing Illinois. Kentucky's playing Troy. UCLA's playing Utah State. And Tennessee is playing Wofford. Early leans, I like the teams that are playing Tuesday, Wednesday, just because whoever wins is going to be having a good amount of momentum going forward. More so for those 11 versus 6s matchups than the 16 seeds, but hey, it's March. You can never count out a true 16 seed. But yeah, like we already said, we're just going to be diving into the brackets just a little bit more in detail this week, but good luck with your brackets. Sliding on over to the women's side. The first four, we have for the 16th seed, UC San Diego is playing Southern University. The winner of that will be playing UCLA. Jesus. Columbia is playing Washington for the 11th seed, and they will be playing I am fairly certain it is West Virginia. The winner of the Iowa State versus Princeton game, sorry to mention, these games are actually going to be played on Wednesday and Thursday. The UC San Diego and Southern University and Columbia Washington will be played on Wednesday, and then the Iowa State Princeton game, and was going to move on to it, but we're already going to mention it. High Point versus William and Mary. Those two games will be played on Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday, the 19th and the 20th. So, like I was saying, Iowa State is playing Princeton. The winner of that will be playing Michigan. And then we have High Point versus William and Mary, and the winner of that will be playing number 1 ranked Texas. Diving into the tournament, we have just a little bit. Like we said, the UC San Diego versus Southern University. Whoever wins that will be playing UCLA for the 16th seed. We have Richmond playing Texas Tech, 8 versus 9. Ole Miss versus Ball State, 5 versus 12. Baylor versus Grand Canyon, 4 versus 13. Florida State versus George Mason, 6 and 11. LSU is playing San Diego State, 3 versus 14. Michigan State's playing Harvard, 7 versus 10. NC State's playing Vermont, 2 versus 15. USC, lean 'em. USC is playing UNC Greensboro, 1 and 16. Cal's playing Mississippi State, 8 and 9. Kansas State's playing Fairfield, 5 and 12. Kentucky's playing Liberty, 4 and 13. Iowa's playing Murray State, 6 and 11. Oklahoma's playing FGCU, 3 and 14. Oklahoma State's playing South Dakota State, 7 and 10. UConn is playing Arkansas State, 2 and 15. On to the other side. South Carolina is playing Tennessee Tech, 1 and 16. Number 8, Utah is playing number 9, Indiana. Alabama, 5, is playing Green Bay, 12. Maryland, 4, is playing Norfolk State, 13. West Virginia, like we said, they'll be playing the winner of Columbia and Washington for the 11. North Carolina, 3, is playing Oregon State, 14. Vandy's playing Oregon, 7 and 10. Duke is playing Lehigh. Texas, like we've already mentioned, will be playing the winner of High Point and William and Mary for 16. Illinois will be playing Creighton, 8 and 9. Tennessee will be playing South Florida, 5 and 12. Ohio State is playing Montana State, 4 and 13. Michigan will be playing the winner of Iowa State and Princeton for 11. Notre Dame is playing SF Austin 3-14. Louisville is playing Nebraska 7-10, and TCU is playing Fair Dickinson. That is your bracket layout, basic bracket layout for our NCAA women's side of things. Like stated in the men's side of things, I will be making a little video this week diving deeper into the brackets and giving a couple of my predictions per se and where I lean. Similar to the men's, I'm going to stick with my bit of momentum theory here and push the 11s more than the 16s. That Washington team is really good, and I really like those Iowa State girls. They have a couple of returning girls, and to be honest with you, Michigan can be beat. The 16s are always going to be harder to upset the ones, but hey, it can happen. You never know. I mean, High Point for the women's and the men's, they both made it, so Cinderellas are bound to do it eventually. But yeah, that is your update for the women's side of the bracket, and good luck out there. If you can, try to make one for the men's and the women's, because hey, maybe you'll pick a winner in at least one. Alright, staying on the topic of basketball, just recapping the weekend for the NBA. The Knicks lost to the Warriors, the Celtics beat the Nets, the Thunder beat the Pistons, the Rockets beat the Bulls, the Grizzlies beat the Heat, the Bucks beat the Pacers, the Spurs beat the Pelicans, and the Wizards upset the Nuggets on Saturday. On Sunday yesterday, we had the Lakers beat the Suns, the 76ers beat the Mavericks. That was kind of the game of whose healthy players left are going to be able to win. I did see that the 76ers have kind of called it for Paul George this year, injury-wise, so he will no longer be playing. The Orlando Magic beat the Cavaliers 108-103. The Hawks lost to the Nets. The Trailblazers beat the Raptors. The Timberwolves beat the Jazz. The Clippers beat the Hornets. The Thunder beat the Bucks. Today, the Nuggets are playing the Warriors. The Spurs are playing the Lakers. The 76ers are playing the Rockets. The Pacers are playing the Timberwolves. The Wolves are playing the Bulls are playing the Jazz. The Raptors are playing the Suns. The Grizzlies, the Kings. The Wizards, the Trailblazers. The Heat are playing the Knicks. And the Pistons are playing the Pelicans. Tomorrow we only have 4 games, so just going to look into them. The Bucks are playing the Warriors. The Hawks are playing the Hornets. The Nets are playing the Celtics. And the Cavs are playing the Clippers. As far as standings go, we do have some teams that have clinched playoff positions. For the East, the Cleveland Cavaliers have clinched their position at 1, and the Boston Celtics have clinched their position at 2. In third, we have the Knicks. In fourth, we have the Bucks. In fifth, we have the Pacers. Sixth, the Pistons. Seventh, the Hawks. Eighth, the Orlando Magic. Ninth, the Miami Heat. And 10th, the Chicago Bulls. In the West, the Oklahoma City Thunder have clinched their playoff spot at number 1. In second, we have the Houston Rockets. Third, the Nuggets. Fourth, the Grizzlies. Fifth, the Los Angeles Lakers. Sixth, the Golden State Warriors. Seventh, the Timberwolves. Eighth, the LA Clippers. Ninth, the Sacramento Kings. And 10th, the Dallas Mavericks. We do only have about maybe 4 weeks left, more or less, so about 17 to 18 games left for the regular season, and then we'll be moving off to the playoffs. So the big ones to look out for are going to be the West. We'll see if the Mavs can hold on to that spot, unless the Suns can sneak in there, as well as possibly even the Trailblazers or the Spurs in that fact. In the East, we have the Raptors would be the second closest team, or the closest team to taking that 10th spot from the Bulls. Possibly even Philadelphia 76ers run or a Brooklyn Nets run, but other than that, we pretty much have a playoff picture for the NBA. That is your update for that. I did see that a lot of the teams have just been like staying a little more consistent on the sitting of their players, whether it be for rest-wise to kind of help out with the lack of the reduction of injuries, or it be some of these teams are kind of just over it and they are kind of already trying to just push for a higher lottery ticket. So stay tuned to that NBA. We have a good amount of games left, though. Definitely some good amount of games to be played. So keep an eye out for that. Onward to the NHL. The gentlemen on the ice this weekend had a couple of bangers. The Kings beat the Predators in overtime on Saturday. The Golden Knights lost to Buffalo Sabres in shootouts. The Penguins beat the Devils. I did see that the Devils have now said that Jack Hughes is out for the year, as well as the Devils. There was one other person. His mind escapes me right now, but it was another winger that was out for the year. The Caps get another win over the Sharks. The Lightning beat the Bruins. The Senators are on a bit of a roll streak. They're on about, I think, a 5-game winning streak. They beat the Maple Leafs. The Canadians beat the Panthers. The Hurricanes beat the Flyers. The Rangers beat the Blue Jackets. The Blues beat the Wild. And the Canucks beat the Blackhawks. On Sunday, the Red Wings beat the Golden Knights. The Colorado Avalanche beat the Dallas Stars in overtime. The Oilers beat the Rangers. The Panthers lost to the Islanders. The Blues beat the Ducks. The Utah Hockey Club beat the Canucks. The Jets beat the Kraken. Today, we have a good handful of games as well. The Maple Leafs are playing the Flames. The Blue Jackets are playing the Devils. The Lightning are playing the Flyers. The Bruins are playing the Sabres. And the Wild are playing the Kings. We have a huge slate tomorrow, which the only games I think that are worth highlighting are probably the Utah Hockey Club and Oilers game. That one should be pretty decent. And the Islanders-Penguins game should also be pretty good. Flames-Rangers, not too bad. Senators-Canadians, also not too bad. Wednesday, there's only 2 games. Colorado versus the Maple Leafs and the Kraken versus the Wild. Moving on to similar to basketball, giving you a standings picture here just because, once again, similar to basketball, the hockey schedule is only going to be, we only have a couple weeks left here for the regular season. So your standings for the Eastern Conference, we have the Florida Panthers, the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Washington Capitals, the Carolina Hurricanes, the New Jersey Devils, the Ottawa Senators, and the New York Rangers. In the West, we have the Winnipeg Jets, Dallas Stars, Colorado Avalanche, Vegas Golden Knights, Edmonton Oilers, LA Kings, Minnesota Wild, and Vancouver Canucks. We definitely have a better competition for the wild card breach in hockey, more so than I feel like in basketball. Naturally, there's going to be a lot more of a closer competition to see who wins, especially because of how many games are actually played, and with a lot of these guys only needing so many more points to actually qualify. I did see the San Jose Sharks have been eliminated from a playoff contention, so that sucks for them. But other than that, it is kind of anyone's game. There's a lot of really close win numbers. So if you can just finish strong towards the stretch, and then playoff hockey's a long time, so the boys got to be ready for the stretch. But that's your hockey update for today. Make sure you try to catch some of the boys on ice, and if not, we'll give you an update. Finally, I wanted to finish up with the sport that does not include balls, but all ball media does follow it. We had our first Formula One race of the year. We had the Louis Vuitton Australian Grand Prix. The winner of that was Mr. Lando Norris. In second place, we had Max Verstappen. In third, George Russell. In fourth, Kimi Antonelli. In fifth, Alexander Albon. Sixth, Lance Stroll. Seventh, Nico Hülkenberg. Eighth, Charles Leclerc. Ninth, Oscar Piastri. 10th, Lewis Hamilton. 11th, Pierre Gasly. 12th, Yuki Tsunoda. 13th, Esteban Ocon. And in 14th, we have Oliver Behrman. Some things that I wanted to highlight were it was pretty impressive to see how well all of the skilled drivers were in the conditions. It was a really rainy track this weekend. A little bit more impressive with the young driver from Mercedes, Kimi Antonelli. He had a couple of really good overtakes, especially on Albon, and then it was really efficient to see him and George Russell finishing in that 3-4 position. So definitely looking forward to see how the young driver fares in the future with Mercedes. Just the first race of the year. The next one that we have coming up is going to be, I want to say, it was It's this week. I don't remember the name, but we'll give an introduction to it on Friday. But yeah, we had a couple of drivers not finish at all, so that was rather interesting. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers not finish. The other thing that to talk about was the young Lance Stroll. He did very well in the rainy conditions, better than his driving partner, former champion Fernando Alonso. So we'll see how Aston Martin bounces back from that. I am very excited to see how, I do believe it is, if it's not Chevrolet, it's definitely not Chevrolet. Cadillac does have a driving club that will be starting next season, so keep an eye out on that new club and who we will be having as their drivers. But that is your recap on the first race that we had this year for Formula One. We'll be following that a lot more as the season continues, especially with them driving all over the place. So, cool stuff. It was pretty tough to watch, not gonna lie. It's always tough to watch the races, but it's naturally the qualifiers are always fun, and then with the conditions, it made it a little bit of a spicier race towards the beginning and even the end with the safety cars and all the movement that they had on the track. So just wanted to say thank you for watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great St. Patrick's Day. Maybe have some corned beef hash, a little Guinness if you drink. If not, then you can just dye some ginger beer and enjoy it that way. But that's all we got for you today. You have a good rest of your week. We'll be releasing a couple more videos this week regarding some brackets for March Madness and giving you a better overlap of how that TGL is going to be concluding and more into how the regular seasons are going to be finishing up for the NBA and the NHL. And we'll also do a better job of introducing more that's happening this offseason for the NFL as this week continues to. Take care.